and then we can see how they learn from analyzing Gankstars. So let's jump into that one, talking about the picks and bans.
So, like, I do feel like, just looking at this right now, because, For Justice is the underdog here, we do see the ban coming out of Cerberus with that Black Feathers, so they know their opponents.
Absolutely.
Either that or they were just looking at the statistics that we were showing 1 minute ago.
Well, yeah, we have a little bit of delay, ladies and gentlemen. That's a little bit risky, but of course, it is something to use here, and all those statistics are public available at vainglorystatistics.com, so there's nothing we are showing here which is not public available. On the other hand side, For Justice going for the Sky ban, we know that Leon is such a talented Sky player.
But the thing is, he's such a talented everything player, and that makes it very hard. However, taking out that Sky, you remove that amount of having that extra mobility. Sky's positioning and mobility is insane, and just taking that skill cap out of having such a high mobile composition in general, it might work out in their favor.
All right. Gankstars, Cerberus picking Fortress, and on the other hand side, Ottomans is going for the Adagio, and we will see what will be the pick which is going to synergize. We see a lot of Finn here, soft locked and locked in.
Yeah, so, For Justice is leaning more towards, that very balanced composition. Having that Adagio, it gives you that early game presence. It gives you that ability to, really push and shove in the early game and defend yourself. But having that combination with that Finn, throw on a sustained hyper carry, and they have a very strong late game composition.
I have to agree with you. The hyper carry is not going to be Saw, at least on the side for Justice, because Leon just locked in that. On the other hand, there is no one to buff him. Now it's about who can save that Saw now.
But the thing is, so we've seen a lot of Gangstar Cerberus playing Saw recently, and the whole Dank Shank thing came out of they build a Crystal Saw, and this is what's going to make this match extremely fun to cast, especially for our two wonderful casters. But it will be intense, shanks everywhere, left, right, and center, and then you have the skill shots coming out of the Kestrel here.
Alright, on the other hand side, Ringo, who is going to be the carry, so it's all about Ringo. It will be around Leon, trying to taking out that Ringo here, most likely going to be a weapon power Kestrel. We might have the Shank Saw, so everyone give us hashtag Shank Saw in the Twitch chat, because I know that we are super hyped about that. That hero is just amazing coming back here, also in the 1.16 meta. It's very great. And last thoughts before we give it over?
No, shout out to Ottoman CC. He was actually the first person I played with when I was over in Europe.
All right, big shout out, and our wonderful casters. Good luck here. Action Jackson, X Counterl, take it away, guys.
Oh yeah, it's time for some dank shanks. I'm super excited for that, assuming he decides to go, of course, for that Crystal Power build. Also, pretty excited to see For Justice playing here. Obviously, one of the new kids on the blocks when it comes to the top 8. And I'm sure they're going to be looking to serve a little bit of justice over to Gankstars.
Yeah, interestingly to note, if anyone's not aware, every single team that we have playing today in the top 8 has already qualified for the Winter Championships. So this is essentially fighting for those seeding positions. So for the Spring Championships, so fighting for those seeding positions going forward here. So I'm really interested about these two compositions, Jackson. We're going to see...
Whoa.
I mean,
already a lot of aggression going down onto first. Look at the damage. This is Leon really showcasing what a Kestrel can do in the early game. He is actually going for Crystal Power, so he's doing even more damage with those Glimmer shots than you might anticipate. And you can really see Fursek has to be careful here. Finn, not particularly well known for having the best of early games, but Ottomans wants to change this a little bit, but he's not going to be able to. Leon, that damage. Woo!
Yep, that's Crystal Power Kestrel right there for you. Those Glimmer shots just absolutely chunking. And obviously she has that passive which makes Glimmer shots basically cost a little bit less. And also, you know, she gets that increased attack speed for her auto attacks. So, you know, she can, in the early game, level 1, do some seriously devastating things, especially if she gets 5 stacks of her passive going on. Then they have just taken away almost every back camp on the side of For Justice. So there's nothing left for those guys to contest in their own jungle, and they're going to just send everyone
One more
to lane.
attack! Oh, Ottomans picks him up, even with the roadie run getting Tetno back towards his turret. Ottomans with the buff up from Agent of Wrath is going to find that return kill. So a bit of a consolation prize going the way for Justice. You could say Ottomans was getting justice, avenging his dead teammates.
So it's 4 crystal bits now for the Kestrel, so really looking to spike very early on here. I guess just throwing down those glimmer shots as much as possible.
Oh.
You saw how much they were chunking.
He's gonna face
Leon.
check though. That's a bad position to be in. He can't actually use the active camo for Justice, picking up a second kill, taking down Leon. And actually, that's gonna really slow him down. You can see For Justice now moving into enemy territory, trying to steal away some back camps. Thankfully, for the side of Gankstars Cerberus, there aren't really many things here to steal.
So we were potentially going to see a Crystal Power Saw coming out here, but with the Crystal Power Kestrel, you may imagine that he could potentially want to go for, either they're going to go for a 1-bomb burst composition where they have a Crystal Power Saw and a Crystal Power Kestrel, and it will just be devastating if they land their abilities, or you might see something like a more classical weapon power Saw come through where they have that varied damage. It's not as easy to itemize against them, and they still retain some seriously good tower pushing abilities too. You can't tell right now because it's just the Book of Eulogies here for the Saw, so obviously most Saws will likely pick that up.
Leon, active camo gets him in position to deal some pretty significant damage down onto Yakub, but he can't quite finish up the kill. Emmer King not able to jump in there with him. Tetno JJ, interestingly, going for those early tier 2 boots. Very intelligent itemization. First though, hang on a second. He's going to get popped. Leon, with those glimmer shots, finds the kill. Crazy damage early game coming out of these Gankstars guys.
Absolutely. They've actually rotated around and put Jakob in lane now, so Ringo is going to be receiving some more farm here. Ottoman just going to be walking a fine line around this mid area. I don't think Gankstars want anything to do with this, though. They don't want to get baited into a fight. They will just flare over, see that it is just Jakob and Ottoman clearing out these camps. We're going to see, well, it could still be a Shatterglass Adagio. You would imagine with the Ringo that Shatterglass Adagio is likely the way that they'll be going. You do sometimes see alternating currents come out from Adagios when they want to be a little bit more aggressive, a little bit more selfish with their build, but I think we'll see a Shatterglass come out here. They're going to buff up that Ringo, a little bit similar to we saw Team Secret run last game, but they're not shoveling everything onto the Ringo this time around. It'll be a little bit more balanced here, coming out from For Justice.
Yeah, and Ottoman's certainly a strong candidate for getting a few items himself. Leon, he's looking for those glimmer shots right now, finds one onto Yuku, picks up the quick kill. Ottomans can't get in position quickly enough to go for the heal, and Leon wants to keep this pressure going. He's moving forward, looking for the glimmer shots, misses one, gets another onto Fursick, but he's running out of ammunition pretty darn quickly. It's going to be hard for him to keep going for it. Leon does have level 6, though, like you were saying, so maybe he can go for that snipe. Turret already picked up by Tetno, and a bit of an adaptation on the push comp. Hang on a second, Ottomans. Oh, one more attack would do it, but Polite Company keeps him alive. Emmer King goes down for the over-aggression there. For Justice, staying in this game so far, only about 2.2k behind, but like I was saying before, a bit of an adaptation to the push comp. You just preoccupy your enemy so much with the crazy aggression in the jungle that they can't defend their turrets.
Interestingly, this is very similar to how we saw Team Secret win in their second game of the last series, where Sky performed a similar role to the Kestrel. You had forward barrage instead of glimmer shot being used to provide a distraction or zone away from turrets while you let Sword do his thing. So the tactic here is literally to provide a distraction from the jungle, or even just get kills, as you can see that Kestrel has been able to do. And then you just allow Saw, uninterrupted, just to push down these lanes. And we are going to see a weapon power Saw coming out here, as far as I can see. There hasn't been a...
It's going to be a two-man stun. Leon with the ambush picks up one quick kill. He's going for a second, trying to find the glimmer shot. One shot, one kill, in fact. Going to be popping down Ottomans. Yakub had to back on out of there right to base. The aggression out of Gankstars Cerberus, something they're obviously well known for and something they're proving still is one of their best traits.
They're one of the best teams that we have in this competition right now, and they are certainly showing it. So this is something that I imagine was going to be more likely. You seeing the weapon power Saw providing that, essentially what we have seen in almost every single Saw game so far.
Tetno. That's going to be from the Hellfire Brew landing on Tetno JJ, keeping him slowed up a little bit, but he's actually able to get out of there. Emmer King backing him up too. Leon moving forward a little bit, looking for Yakub, landing 2 of those Glimmer shots. He finds a third. Not going to be going for the 4th just yet, though. Waiting for the reload. He wants to do that burst all in one go as the Quibble goes down onto Tetno. Leon pulled in by the Polite Company. He's actually very low right now, but a Fountain of Renewal is beginning to tick. That is not quite going to land. Verse of Judgment just outside of the range to get the stun down onto Leon. Actually, a fairly good defense. Oh, one shot, one kill, Yakub! He's so nearly went down. Scout Trap lands! Oh, he's playing with my heartstrings right now. Yakub just barely able to get out. He's going to walk over another Scout Trap, though. Got to get out of there. Just barely able to escape again. When will it end, Scoundrel?
Oh, well, he gets the heal, so it's going to end now, as he is well out of the range of another Scout Trap damage. He manages to avoid getting killed there. I'm not sure that Scout Trap would have had enough to finish him off, but it would have been very close at that point. 1 shot, 1 kill, though. Unfortunately, the 1 shot hit, but not able to pick up the 1 kill. And they're going to get the gold mine, though, for the amount of pressure they've put again onto For Justice. And Tetno now going to walk back towards lane and start to push the wave as of yet again. There isn't realistically, there isn't many ways that I think that For Justice can proxy this Saw and attempt to push, stop this fast push competition coming through, especially because of how aggressive both Kestrel and Fortress are being in the enemy jungle. Speaking of aggression, it does look like Kestrel is playing a bit of a chasing game with this Adagio.
Yeah, should be able to secure this one, I would imagine. Obviously, Ottomans doesn't know exactly where Leon is going with that active camo. Here comes the damage down. One more auto attack picks it up. Emmer King was trying to put some pressure down on the turret on the other side of the map, but got forced back as the minion wave was cleared. 7 kills to 3 with the 2.3k gold lead. Gankstars Cerberus showing why they won the first qualifier and that they're looking to contest the second here.
Interestingly enough, I think that this tactic that is being brought out, that we've seen from both Team Secret and now Gankstars Cerberus, albeit with different champions, they are essentially blocking any opportunity for the opposing team to get round Saw and start to proxy those waves, because they just have such an aggressive crystal power champion like Sky or, like in this case Kestrel. And they have Fortress there as well, that they are just blocking any attempts to get round and look to proxy waves. It just leaves Saw untouched. Look at Kestrel here.
Yeah, Leon jumping all the way onto the backline, but he gets pulled in by Polite Company. That's going to give away his position. He's trying to find the kills, but he needs to get out of here. Lots of damage from Ottomans. Leon is able to get some distance before the court actually brings it back on a Fursek. That was probably not the best use of the ultimate. It's going to be the clean ace picked up for Gankstars Cerberus as they find another favorable fight.
Absolutely here. And honestly, they have just run away with this early aggression. They've managed to build up a 3k gold lead at 10 minutes. They're going to push onto yet another turret, which is very shortly going to go down. They may even be able to use this minion wave and aggressively move towards this turret here. And Yakub, he has to be careful.
Oh, he really does. The heals coming through from Ottomans, pretty much the only thing keeping him in this one, as the poke from Leon's Glimmer shots, absolutely amazing. Tetno is going to be able to back away from that Quibble. Doesn't go down to it. Leon looking for some more glimmers. He lands 3 people with that is ridiculous. 1 shot, 1 kill coming across on a Fursek. I mean, right now, Leon is putting on perhaps the best show I've seen from a Kestrel in competitive Fame Glory. Just constantly landing those big glimmer shots. And, it's not something we've seen him play that much in the past. He's like really well known for his Sky, for example. Really well known for a few other things, but he's showing his versatility right now. This guy is an absolute god.
But he is playing it similar to how you'd expect this Sky to play in this scenario. So he's using skills that he has achieved from both champion masteries and applying it to the same situation, which is working really well in this Saw composition. They're not even going to back, they're just going to use that middle shop and again start to mount some more pressure. And honestly, it is all Leon at this point in time. He is just an absolute monster on this champion. You can see he's got a shatter glass. It looks like he's potentially building towards, could be a broken myth or, another shatter glass if he really wants. I wouldn't be surprised, to see yet another shatter glass.
Forced Accord gonna be denied there by the Crucible. I'm actually not sure it landed onto anyone in addition to that.
Yeah.
But Polite Company has been overdriven. It pulls Tetno in very deep. He's got to back out of here, just barely, again, able to get out of the range of the Verse of Judgment. And now the turnaround comes. Emmer King, he's moving forward. That's going to be the reflex block on the 1 shot, 1 kill, keeping Ottomans alive for now. but Gankstars Cerberus, they're back to almost full health right away, picking up the turret. They seem unstoppable right now.
And I was going to mention before the Crucible came out, I think the Crucible was the key to being, you know, bought, sold, GG here for Team Gankstars Cerberus, because that allows them to counter so many team-wide ultimates that they can be afraid of. You know, a good force accord could turn things around. If they get those in succession, then you could turn things around, you know, over a course of a couple of team fights. You know, and Crucible is such a hard counter to Verse of Judgment as well if it hasn't been used previously. So I just feel like with that Crucible already being there, I just feel like there's no way that for Judgment gets back into here.
Here we go. Leon looking for those attacks again. Gonna get stunned up by Fursick, but the damage is still there. Emmer King trying to hunt down the kill. One shot, one kill. Gonna pick it up. Now Emmer King does need to be careful as Yakub moves forward, but Leon stealthily able to get in a position to go for a little bit more. Yakub might be able to find Emmer King here with the stutter step. It's going to be very close, but Emmer King just barely picks up the kill as Leon hunts down onto Ottoman CCC. Leon in a great position here, just needs one more Glimmer shot. The reflex block, the heal. Ottomans manages to stay alive, but doesn't even matter right now. 13 kills to 3 and a 7,000 gold lead. Gankstars Cerberus are just keeping the pressure on.
And it's all through Leon on this Kestrel. He's just so aggressively using that stealth to position, set up team fights. And, you know, he's doing 400 damage per Glimmer shot right now. And that is such a spammable ability on Kestrel as well. It's a monstrous champion to try and deal with for Judgment. And to be honest, with their main carry being the Ringo, and they look like they've gone for... actually, it is a fairly aggressive alternating current build coming out from Adagio. I just don't think they are going to scale very well here. I don't think they're going to make it or even have a chance in the late game. So I just feel like this has gone worse as the time has gone on for Judgment. It's not going to get any better. Crucible is there now. There is an Aegis out for Techno, and I imagine at some point Leon may, if he feels threatened, pick up his own, and that will just be unstoppable right now.
Look at this. I mean, Leon just diving right onto the back line of For Justice. He's going to stealth back up again. Fursick missing the quibble. The damage is ridiculous. One shot, one kill, picks up the first as Leon, untouched still after the entirety of that fight, is moving up here, maybe looking for some turrets. Only 2 left for Justice. You can see Techno getting some good poke down here as well. Kind of the unsung hero, I guess, on the side of Gankstars. Leon stealing all the limelight this game, but pretty good consistent play and damage coming out of Techno JJ. You can see he's really acting as an immovable object on the front line here, stopping Ottomans and Jakub from moving too far up, being too aggressive, especially when flanked by Emmer King. Fursick, he's going to be back. That's a 3-man force to court, but it's not onto the platform. Leon manages to get some distance here. That's the active camo. Hellfire Brew is going to land. It actually might pick up the kill. The fountain is just going to heal through the burn, though. Techno JJ goes down, but Leon just playing with fire there, barely able to escape. Yakub, he reflex blocks as a stun, finds Leon. The first fight in a while going the way of For Justice, but it's not going to be the ace. Can they find a Kraken off the back of that? That's their only way back in here.
And I don't even know if that's going to be enough for them to fully make a comeback. It will definitely buy them some time, and time is a commodity that For Justice really need at this point, given how aggressive the sort of the play they're facing, I guess. And I think the Crucible was very poorly timed, by the way, from Gankstars Cerberus there. It didn't actually manage to Crucible anything whatsoever. And they used it after the Forced Accord came out and used it well before. Oh, Ottoman. Holy moly.
If Emmer King had timed that a little bit better, Ottomans was dead.
Yeah.
If he jumped in, maybe.
And then obviously they used it before the Verse of Judgment came out. The Verse of Judgment didn't actually do anything, but it did force them to retreat and allowed the chase to happen for Judgment. So I don't think we're going to see that kind of mistake from Gankstars Cerberus once more. They're actually going to try and chunk through this Kraken before it even can make it to a turret. I think it should get this first one, though.
Yeah, I don't think they can defend that much or that easily. But then again, 2 people getting stunned up. That's a 2-man forced accord. Jakub forced backwards here. Fursick trying to stay on the front line for Justice, but not quite able to do it. He needs to back away. One shot, one kill. It gets the kill. Ottomans. He's going to be hunted down here. Emmer King and Leon want more. Yakub going to be the first target. One more Glimmer shot, plus the burn finds it. And now Ottomans alone on the side of For Justice. One more attack might be enough, but with the fountain, it's not going to happen. That's an ace picked up for Gankstars Cerberus. And 1 turret is all the Kraken was able to achieve. Gankstars Cerberus, they had, you know, a brief moment where they looked like they were vulnerable, but to be honest, too little achieved there.
They may have looked vulnerable for one team fight, but they were nowhere near within reaching distance of 4 Judgment from that point. I mean, 4 Judgment pick up the Kraken through a gift. 4 Justice, sorry. I keep saying 4 Judgment, and for some reason,
they're being judged right
now.
They're being judged for darn sure.
Yeah, 4 Justice, there was one point where they managed to win a team fight because I think the Crucible timing was very poor from Gankstars Cerberus. But apart from that, I mean, Gankstars are just so far ahead. I mean, it's 10k gold difference at this point in time, and a Kraken can't solve that. A Kraken is not made of gold, unfortunately. My biggest qualm, I guess, is the build from Ottoman. I think maybe I would have preferred the Shatterglass build here. If you're going to go for a buff Ringo composition, it's probably better to build a composition that is designed to buff Ringo, not try and produce Adagio as its own threat. And you had to win in the early game, but they lost in the early game because Kestrel was just able to be so aggressive, and you kind of lose your win condition from that point forward. And honestly, you were talking earlier about Techno JJ being the unsung hero here. Well, that is completely correct. The whole composition built from Gankstars Cerberus hinged on this Saw. It was a Saw composition. It was very similar to the one that we saw Team Secret run with Sky, but you just replace Sky with Kestrel, and I think you replace Arden with Fortress, but it serves the same purpose in the sense that you are providing enough of a distraction to allow Saw to just do his job, which is take turrets.
Oh, absolutely. And Tetno, you know, he hasn't gotten any kills, but he does have 8 assists and he has 156 farm, which isn't too bad for this point in the game. The biggest thing for me, though, if I'm for Justice moving into Game 2, is if I'm going to run this kind of composition, personally, I would not pick the Finn. I think, you know, we've seen time and time again.
Heroes, right?
Yeah, I mean, Finn is just a little bit too slow to get rolling when you're running the Ringo and the Adagio who want to do work in the earlier stages of the game.
Exactly. Glaive, I don't know if Glaive was banned, but Glaive might have been better. I think with Adagio being up, I imagine Glaive might have been banned. But even Arden would have been good.
Oh, but we might see another fight here as Fursic face-checking the bush. Lots of damage going down admittedly from Ottomans. Forced Accord finds 2. Tetno in a very bad position this time. Can he kite backwards? That's going to be the fountain popped. Ottomans looking for the Burst of Judgment in the bush. Does get the stun onto Ember King, but not onto Leon. That's going to be a 578 Glimmer Shot coming across, picking up the kill as Yakub gets hunted down. Tetno finds it. It's the ace for Gankstars Cerberus. They might not even go for the Kraken. They're ignoring it for the time being. They may just push into the base and take the last 2 turrets.
Yeah, absolutely no need for the Kraken at this point in time. They've got a good 20 seconds. They have Saw. They've got Fortress to speed them up. They've got the ace buff. They don't need the Kraken. They just win the game straight up from here, Jackson. And you know, Tetno, he had two good items here, but really this entire game was about how Leon played on this Kestrel. He was a monster, absolute monster on this champion, and there you go. They do take the first game.
Man, if I was Leon, I might have run onto the fountain to die at the end, just so I was 1337 on the kill score. But
oh yeah, nice pick up there.
Very impressive performance from Gankstars Cerberus, certainly showing why they placed first in the first qualifier of the spring season, and they're strong contenders to do so again. For Justice really need to rally themselves and come up with some kind of a plan in Game 2 if they want to avoid elimination right now. But you know, looking forward towards that Game 2, let's hear from our analysts and figure out maybe what For Justice can do moving forwards to stay in this series.
Thank you very much, Action Jackson and X Condrel. So we had a very one-sided match here.